Yo, what is up guys? Sam Pack here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this gorgeous Ortholinear keyboard by Work Louder called the Creator Board. So I first saw this keyboard last year on Instagram and I was definitely skeptical at first, but very intrigued. I've never seen a keyboard like this where things can be modular, and I bought into their first pre-order run and I'm so glad that I did. But with that said, let's get started. But first, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, RnCables. RnCables provides a huge variety of cables that are all custom made. You can even pick specific theme cables to go with your GMK keycaps. Or if you want, you can design your own on their website. There are endless configurations you can do, and they have a bunch of connector types. Use code SAMPACPAC at checkout for 5% off. Links will be down below. The Creator Board was designed by Work Louder, a group of guys, Mike, Matthias, and their team. Their vision was clear from the start, to make a keyboard for creators, and that's exactly what they've done. This keyboard is made for content creators. I mean, who doesn't love 5 encoder knobs? What really intrigued me was that this board was definitely something different. I kept saying in my Twitch chat that all of these keyboards that have been coming out lately are pretty much the same, just different colors and maybe a different case shape. The Creator Board was something that stood out and I was really excited for it, and sure enough, it did not disappoint. So this is an Ortholinear keyboard, which a lot of people are definitely not used to. A lot of us are used to or only typed on staggered keyboard layouts. It's definitely a huge learning curve, but once you get used to it, it'll get easier and easier to type on. Is ready for type tests? All right, so we said 60. That's just being kind of like nice, I guess, but we'll see what we get. Let me get a redo. Let me get it. Oh my, yo, that was redo won't help you here. Okay, hold on. All right. The only thing though, going back and forth from stagger to ortho might be challenging. So this is basically a plateless build. So you solder the switches right onto the PCB itself, and it has standoffs to hold the PCB in place, and has a polycarbonate piece that holds the whole entire board together. And this PC bottom has brass inserts inside for the screw holes, so you won't accidentally crack the PC bottom in case you tighten it too hard. So how's the typing experience? It's actually quite enjoyable to type on after you get over the hump of how to type on the keyboard, but they chose to go with these low profile Kailh chalk switches for this board, and honestly, I think it's a great choice, especially due to the design of the board, and I feel like MX switches would definitely look weird and chunky on this board, so really glad they went with these low profile switches. So I would pick the option to get it DIY or unsoldered kit, because you can lube the switches before you solder them on. In my opinion, lubing these switches are definitely important because they are very scratchy. And to lube these type of switches, I have this switch opener to take it apart, and I lube all the bottom housing and especially around the pole. The spring you can lube with 105 oil, or you can brush 205 G0 on it, then lube the stem bottom. Just make sure you don't lube the stem pole itself, and then lube the side stems. After that, I just put them all back together. You will notice that there is a wire in these switches as well. You can take them out if you want to for this board. The only one that I would keep is if you're planning on doing a 2U spacebar. So make sure to keep the wire in for that specific switch. Putting it all together is a little difficult. I wish the standoffs would somehow stick into the screw, because right now you would have to guess and hope that the standoffs will stay in place, and I did lose one of my standoffs during stream. So the biggest reason why I love this board is how easy to map things in VIA. A lot of boards out there that have encoder knobs, you have to flash them with QMK, and this is one of the first boards that were super easy to map encoders on VIA. So I use Final Cut to edit all my videos, and one of the things I love to do is zooming in and out of the timeline, and I map this knob to do just that. And to do this command, you need to use command plus or minus, and always takes 2 hands to do that command. But mapping that to the encoder, I can just scroll left or right. And on VIA, it is very simple to map macros like this by simply going over to the macros, look up what keys you want to execute, and press save. Then just map the encoder to those macros that you just programmed, and bam, easy peasy. So stuff like this, being able to map things very fast without having to make an hex file and flashing the keyboard, this makes mapping so much easier. And if you guys have better tips on mapping keys, please write them in the comments down below. It's overall amazing keyboard. I'm most likely gonna be using this keyboard whenever I edit my videos, and there's so many things Work Louder can do, and they're only scratching the surface. I hope they introduce Bluetooth with multi-device support, maybe a touch bar or screen, maybe even a fingerprint scanner, or maybe even a different layout like a TKL or something. The possibilities are endless, and I cannot wait for more products and modules from them. Comment down below if you guys think this board is worth getting, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.